Hello, my name is Ana Maria.
And I'm Roberto.
We both work at the section of Spatial Planning and Strategy of the Department of Urbanism at Delft University of Technology.
Today, we are going to talk about the New Urban Agenda, a roadmap for fair and sustainable cities around the world.
In October 2016, in the beautiful historic city of Quito in Ecuador, more than 40,000 people gathered in the United Nations Habitat 3 meeting.
During the conference, the New Urban Agenda was negotiated by national and local governments, members of the civil society, academics, social movements for years, in a long and laborious process. Afterwards, it was approved by the 193 United Nations member states.
Why is the New Urban Agenda so important, and why should we pay attention to it?
The New Urban Agenda is a roadmap for urban development in the 21st century. It's a long document composed by 175 articles that carefully lay out urban development objectives.
We are living a rapid urbanization process. Experts predict that the global urbanization rate will reach 60% by 2030.
This process has not happened evenly. While Europe, North America, and Latin America are very urbanized, more than 75%, Africa, Asia, and Oceania are still predominantly rural, although their rate of urbanization is extremely high.
Many countries have not urbanized in a sustainable way. That is, urbanization is not planned, and entire neighborhoods lack sanitation and other basic services. And many areas face problems with water and energy provision.
The quality of the dwellings is also a big problem.
The New Urban Agenda sees urbanization as an engine for development. It claims that urbanization processes may lead to increased prosperity and to a better use of natural resources.
We have become accustomed to the idea that cities are unsustainable and polluted, often ridden by social problems and crime.
But the truth is that cities, if well managed, can be extremely efficient in how they use resources and how they spread prosperity.
Things like density, diversity, connectivity, and proximity are great advantages of cities in relation to rural environments.
There are also cultural aspects to be considered. Urbanization processes are generally accompanied by profound cultural changes, increased political awareness, and strengthening of citizenship. The New Urban Agenda builds upon many other agreements and policy documents, especially the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, enacted by the UN in 2014.
SDGs range from End Poverty, SDG 1, End Hunger, SDG 2, to Decent Jobs and Economic Growth, SDG 8, and Climate Action, SDG 13. In total, there are 17 Sustainable Development Goals that should guide our efforts as a human race towards a better world.
The New Urban Agenda implicitly believes that by addressing SDG 11, that is, sustainable cities and communities, we will be acting on all the other SDGs.
In short, sustainable and inclusive cities will deliver us a more sustainable and fair world.
That's why the agenda conveys a sense of urgency in the implementation of policies and actions that cannot merely depend on political schedules or opportunistic moments, but on clear and well-defined implementation plans.
In short, the New Urban Agenda will seek to create a mutually reinforcing relationship between urbanization and development, and the aim that they become parallel vehicles for sustainable development.
The vision of the New Urban Agenda can be steered to induce transformative change, promoting a new urbanization model that is universal and adaptable to different national circumstances.
The implementation of the agenda is perhaps the biggest challenge we have. The 193 signatory countries are incredibly diverse, and while some of them are robust democracies where the rule of law and citizens' rights are strong, Other countries have weak institutions and low power of implementation, and will need help to achieve their goals.
In this sense, the heavy load of implementation lies on local governments. All over the world, mayors have to deal with very different conditions, but they want the same: to achieve fair, sustainable prosperity.
That's why we, as students of cities and regions, must come together to look for solutions for all kinds of urban problems. However, we should dedicate extra energy to find feasible implementation strategies that respond to the needs and wishes of a multitude of stakeholders who often have conflicting objectives.
We hope that by following the Rethink the City course, you will acquire knowledge and skills to help with the implementation of the new urban agenda.
And don't forget to click on the link to download the whole document.
It is easy to read, but you must understand the implications of the concept expressed there.